Hello, hello. People are getting here soon. We are on day 4 of the lead sprint, and it's going to be wonderful. It is hot seat coaching day, so just waiting for people to get here, and then we're going to get started. Dun, dun, dun. You know what? Let me tell you a little bit of a story that I haven't fully shared on how I refined my own offer from where I started off to where I am now. So when I started um, getting interested in being a coach, I said I was going to help small businesses grow their business. And that contributed to my name at the time, Small and Thriving. Like, I will help you be thriving, because I felt like there were all these things I was seeing that businesses were doing or not doing well that I needed to get better on. And that's a bit of a lofty goal. What do you mean you want to help small businesses grow? What kinds of small businesses? Is it service businesses? Is it product businesses? Is it businesses in the fashion area? Like, and why? And so it took a while, because I eventually then sold, like in the interim when I wasn't getting clients, I was giving all this information and tips on Instagram. Tips are not what get you paid. And I wasn't really getting any inquiries. So I said, okay, let me offer a service that people can directly buy. So I offered social media management for a while. I sold a spot, and it was a significant amount of money-ish at the time. So I started doing that while I was still pushing the small business thing. What I quickly learned is that I didn't really enjoy doing social media management as much for other people. I know what to do, but it doesn't mean I like doing it, right? I like bossing around other people to do it. And then I quickly realized that the best niches that you choose to your business to focus on your niche, it will likely be something that you've experienced yourself and overcome, or something that you have helped other people do multiple times, right? Especially if you're going to be a service business. I mean, if you're a product business, you can decide to go buy TVs today, phones today, and sell them, right? You don't need to have any further experience other than being able to convince people. But when you're selling a service, it is very important for you to be able to have personal transformation with it, or have worked with other people to achieve this transformation. And you may be like, okay, so does that mean if I don't have any personal experience with something, I shouldn't do it? Um, kind of, kind of. Either you've had personal experience with it, or you've had helped other people do it. Hi, Toby. How are you?
Hi, Fope. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm just sharing a bit of a story of how I came into business coaching, essentially, while I was waiting for people to get here. Today is going to be hot seat coaching. So if you have any questions, let me know. But the way we're going to do it is that we're going to do a um an audit. So you tell me your offer, your pricing, and what you're trying to help people do, aka the promise, and how sales are going. If you're getting lots of inquiries and it's converting, or you're not getting inquiries at all, or you're getting inquiries and it's not converting. So whatever area you're in, you can just think about that if you have any questions around that. And if you don't, we'll just do the offer audit. But let me wrap up my quick story, and then I'll come back to that. So essentially, when you're thinking about your offer, you ideally want to pick something that you've had personal experience in, especially as a service provider, something you overcome yourself that you now help other people do, or something that you've helped lots of people do, maybe as a volunteer, maybe in your past job, and to make it tangible, right? I eventually landed on money making priorities because I figured after the year and a half of dilly dallying, if I had had someone to just tell me all these things you're doing, you're not using them to make any money. Like, figure out what your offer is, what's the transformation you're going to help somebody get to from A to B, and how are you getting new people into your world, right? So eventually I landed on helping people get clients, helping service providers especially get clients. And that was something that I knew was desirable, people wanted. And so when we landed on that topic of helping people get clients, then it became more tangible. People could see that, okay, if I want to get clients, I'll talk to Fakwe. Then like that became a theme and something that could draw people to me, something that people wanted in their own words. People wake up in the night thinking, oh, how am I going to get clients again? They don't wake up thinking, I just want to grow my small business. So like you also have to think about how to make your service tangible. So that's the end of that sub story. There's a few people here now. So hi Lisa, hi everyone, welcome. I was just sharing a bit of a backstory of getting into my how I got into coaching. And the way today is going to go is we're going to do some audits on your money making priorities, starting with your offer. We will The way it's going to work is you tell me your offer, tell me your pricing, your promise, and the loose structure, kind of how you deliver it, and how sales are going. By how sales are going, I mean, are you getting inquiries, but it's not converting? Are you getting inquiries and converting, or no inquiries at all? Right? That's how it's going to go. So whoever wants to go first, just put your offer in the chat. Your offer should include your pricing, your promise, your structure of how you deliver it, and how sales are going so far. Also, you can come off mute if you want to share more context. Welcome, everyone. We are doing offer audits today to check on how your, if you have a money-making offer and what priorities you need support with. So we're going to have you share your offer, which includes your pricing, your promise, the loose structure of how you deliver it, and how sales are going. Are you getting inquiries but not converting? Are you getting lots of inquiries and converting, or no inquiries at all? And then we'll go from there. Whoever wants to go first can put theirs in the chat, or you can raise your hand, whichever one. Whatever is easier. All right, Michelle.
So it works out perfectly because I have a 7-week therapeutic art series starting next week. So nice. I have been putting it out and I'm not getting a lot of traction. Okay. So far I have one person who's registered. It's a small group, only 6 people. Okay. And it, you said cost?
So let me tell you the whole thing again. So it's, tell me your offer, like what it is that you do, the pricing, the promise, and the structure, how you're going to deliver it, and how sales are going.
Okay, so it's a 7-week therapeutic art series.
Okay.
It is $595 payable in installments, small groups of 6. The promise is offering a safe space for folks to rediscover themselves through a variety of art mediums and exploring different themes. And at the end of this, they'll feel more connected with themselves and with others.
Okay. And you said you got 1 inquiry for it so far. So why do people need to rediscover themselves is my first thought.
Yeah, so from the everyday hustle and bustle, trauma forms this, that's where I have a hard time putting into words, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, how does rediscovering yourself help you survive or thrive? Another way to ask you.
Yeah, so we're looking to thrive. Being stuck in survival mode, we disconnect. And these artful expressions allow folks to process without words. So it's a different way of processing emotions through art and holding that space and really feeling with and through in a group.
Okay, it's a good thing that one person has reached out. So the one person that reached out, did you have a conversation? What did they say they were looking for? Because that can help us figure out how to communicate it in a way that mirrors what people understand. So let's go back to that one person. What did they say when they reached out? What are they asking for?
So it's somebody I knew and who signed up for coaching. So she signed up for a coaching package and the artful expressions as a way to complement the two.
Okay, so that also was my gut feeling that it's likely a referral, and so it's not a cold audience, right? So you kind of know whether what you're saying is landing when somebody who hasn't heard of you before is like, hears it and it's like, oh yeah, that's for me. So this person knows you before. So my thoughts are like, okay, why do I need a safe space to reconnect with myself? Like, what if I wake up in the night at 2 a.m., what am I thinking that relates to wanting to reconnect to myself? Like if you were reading their journal, how would they describe what is going on with them? Like, what is the problem they're having?
Yeah, they're feeling stuck. They're stagnant. They're in their head. They're in their thoughts, and that is taking over. So they're not enjoying life. They're not in the present moment. They are stuck in their thoughts.
I know, but you said it's taking over. What is it taking over?
It's taking away from the joy of the present moment.
Okay, joy is tangible, so I like that. And so, if they go through your program, what's on the other side?
On the other side is feeling authentic, owning their emotions, and being able to regulate.
I've seen a lot of big words, and I'm still not like
I
I'm
know.
I'm still not grasping it. So you want to think of like, okay, this thing I'm offering, what would happen if you don't take action? What is like, think about it. What would tangibly happen? What is something they can grasp in their hand that would happen if they don't take action? Are they going to continue to feel depressed? Are they going to continue to be unable to engage with their children in a joyful way? Are they going to be are they going to find that they're zoning out of everyday life and feeling like they're just living a shell of themselves? Like, you need to be able to like picture it yourself. It can't just be big word,
Yeah,
essentially.
and that's where I get stuck myself, right? And
So like paint the picture of what are the problems that will continue if they don't work with you. So like answer this plainly, like you're explaining to a 7-year-old. What are the problems that will continue if they don't work with you? Just tell me right now. What are the problems?
yeah, you're gonna continue to feel anxious and anxiety and be pulled
What does
away.
that anxiety lead to?
Pardon?
What does that anxiety lead to?
Where does it lead to?
Yeah. Like what happens if you're feeling anxious? Like why shouldn't I just stay anxious?
You just see, that's where I have a hard time putting into. So if can you repeat again, Fopsy, please?
If I am feeling anxious,
Yeah.
what does that lead to? If I'm perpetually anxious, why can't I just stay that way?
Well, you're stuck in your thoughts. You're worrying about what's going to happen, and you're not fully enjoying the present moment.
Okay. Why is that so bad? Why should I pay $5.95 to stop feeling that way? That's kind of what I'm getting at. Maybe it wrecks your body. Maybe your anxiety starts to manifest as long-term health issues. Maybe it like you were saying it with joy, because I could feel that it steals from your joy and presence. That means every day you're like anticipating issues happening, and so like the heightened stress can also manifest as high blood pressure, like health issues.
You're not sleeping. You're not
You're not
sleeping.
sleeping. Exactly.
You're not
Things we can
sleeping.
hold. So things we can hold. No sleep, poor health, right? So like relate it back to like tangible things. So like don't leave them in the feeling world. Feelings are powerful and they're motivating, but they don't make us buy. We need them to buy. So that's where I'm thinking. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sit
Okay.
with those a little bit,
Yeah.
and then like we can come back if there's even more time. But I like that. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
For
Thank
sharing.
you.
Like when we're thinking about our offers, we really want to think, okay, what is somebody going to hold in their hands? Like when they are trying to, when they take their credit card out and they want to buy, what is this tangible thing that they say I'm buying? Did they say I'm buying freedom from anxiety? Like, I don't know, should I take Xanax for that rather than just paying like 600 for it? So just think about like, what am I giving them tangibly in my offer that they can hold, that helps them survive or thrive, that feels like something that they need to solve today, not eventually as well. Okay. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing. Tomide, your hand is up. And I'm going to just look in the chat to see if anyone shared. Yes, a few people did. Okay, go ahead, Tomide. You're muted, though. You're muted. You're muted if you can hear me.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay, great. I mean, I did drop mine in the chat as well, but basically my offering is the Idea to Income Accelerator. So it's basically an accelerator where I help women in corporate that are looking to start their own product-based businesses actually go from idea to getting it out into the world. I usually charge $13.65 or $13.60. I think I've only charged one person that. I've mostly just charged $9.95. And it has been mostly like maybe because it was early bird or beta. Or
so you sold it before?
I've sold it 6 times.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I've sold it to 6 people.
Okay.
Right. I have offered it 3 times. So every time I offered it, I got 2 people in.
Wait. You sold it to 6 people? I don't understand.
Okay, I've offered it 3 times. So I've had 3 cohorts of this accelerator.
Oh, it's
But in
cohort.
each
Okay.
cohort, there have been 2 people.
I just mean 6 people have bought it. Is
Yes,
what?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
so that is good, and it means that real people have needed it, and so I like the name as well. Immediately I hear it, I understand what it means. Ideas to Income Accelerator, and so the promise is whether you're just getting started or you've already launched and you're stuck, the Ideas to Income Accelerator gives you the clarity, structure, and support you need to build a profitable product business while still working your 9 to 5. I like while still working your 9 to 5. Just the roadmap, coaching, and accountability. However, I don't really like to sell clarity because again, I can't hold it in my hand, but I know that that's valuable to people. So tell me about the real results that those 6 people have had. Like think about 3 to 5 results that are common across the board.
Right. So momentum is the number one thing.
What is momentum?
So momentum being like, so one of them, for instance, was like, look, this is a real accelerator because in 6 weeks she was able to go from like literally an idea, nothing more, to now she has a designer, she has a manufacturer, she knows who her customer is. Like she's very well on her way to launching. That's one. Another one actually launched, and she got like almost $10,000 in her launch month.
Okay.
And another one, I mean, so they're all at different stages, right? So
So where is the problem you're currently having?
My problem is, I mean, every time I offer it, I have 2 people in, and it feels like it's not worth it to offer it like every quarter, for instance.
Every time you offer it, you have 2 people in, like 2
Yeah.
people pay 1365.
So say 2 people pay like $950. Let's say so I'm getting about $2,000 every time I offer this.
So you need
And
more
it
leads.
takes about, I'm sorry?
You need more leads.
I need more leads, exactly. So it takes about like, 6. I mean, I've offered it as a 6-week program, and I've offered it as a 12-week program. So with the 6-week program,
the issue isn't the offer right now.
Okay.
It's more, you need more people to see it because you've shown it. People have bought it.
Yeah.
People are getting results from it, but you feel like you have a cap. How are you currently getting leads?
Good question.
It's almost like we have
post
to
on LinkedIn, and I don't even know whether those posts make sense at all. I would say though, most of my leads, 4 out of the 6 have been warm. Actually, all of them have been warm, right? They have been friends that are like, oh shoot, yeah, offering this, I would love this. The first 2 people that bought, I didn't know them before, but they knew of my brand because like I have a product-based business. So they knew my brand.
Hold on. So you said a number of things. You post on LinkedIn, which is good. It's a platform. But a lot of people that have come to you are warm leads. Warm leads are people that know of us. And so like it's good because again, I know you doesn't mean I'm going to pay you $9.95. So it means whatever you're offering was valuable, but you still need more people to know about this that you're doing. So we did that lovely exercise yesterday to get 100 engaged leads and names. How many names did you get on your list?
I actually have quite a long list because I did webinars in order to like sell before. I've been posting on LinkedIn for a while. I took a break because I had a baby, but like I had people in my DMs that I never really, it's kind of like I put it out and then I run away because I don't know how to actually like go from hey to come on by.
Okay, hello to ID. Okay, lovely. And I knew there was like missing pieces. So the core thing that your offer is fine. We can always strengthen it to be a money-making offer. But if it's selling, I like to park it for now. So the issue here is more leads. To get people to buy, they don't just come and buy. Not everybody's ready to get married on the first date, like we get established. So the first step is to fill your pipeline. You have to be doing something to get people in. So right now, that looks like LinkedIn. It looks like the webinars. It looks like the names you have, finding a way to re-engage them. Maybe that looks like something tied towards the end of the year. I know we're going to have a conversation later today. So like, I will get into it in more detail with you. By the way, any of the coaching I give you right now, it's only like a snippet of what I can. We can spend an hour together to figure out what working together would look like for the next 12 weeks. So book your sales call. It's 60 minutes dedicated to you. It helps you to get a customized, not just plan, but showing you how we're going to fix the most urgent problem in your business this quarter so that this year, 2025, you can end it with your best quarter yet. So if you haven't booked a sales call, please do so at fopsy.ca/call. That's fopsy.ca/call. But back to you. you need to fill your pipeline. And then when you fill your pipeline, don't assume that naturally they'll just move down the steps. It's like somebody saying they got your number and yeah, this person is going to marry me. Okay, if you don't call them, you don't plan dates, you don't like show up, even the proposal at the end, you need to move them along. So what does that look like? Filling the pipeline is getting their number. Okay, following up is the text they send you. Hey, boo, good morning, lovely. Like, so that is the emails you're sending. That is the touch points you're having. And then it's not enough to follow up. Somebody could be following up forever, which is what we call the talking stage, and never like ask you, do you want to be my girlfriend? That do you want to be my girlfriend is having sales conversations. Hey, would you like to move this along further? And then they still have to respond. And then after they respond is where you're able to serve them. So having sales, so you see how like it's not enough to get them into your world. You need to, well, first find them, get them to your world and move them along. So it sounds like you have some people that are hovering in your world, but you said that you get them and then you run away a little bit. You can't run away. Imagine you get a girl's number and you run away. Like you have to do the wooing a little bit. So it sounds like filling the pipeline more would help, because if you have something that two people are saying yes to, and those two people are somewhat warm, it means that something is working, and we should just increase the number of people that are hearing about your work, right? And you still have names untapped. Imagine now you go to the 6 people you've served and ask them, do you know anybody else that has similar problems? After all, they've experienced you now, they've experienced that momentum. Although momentum is still a woo word. I want to know what momentum is. Is it like launched and got $10,000? Is it had the proof of concept in 1 month? Like I want something they can hold, right? Again, people are paying money and they have to explain to their husband and their wife, like, okay, I spent all this money on this coach. This is what I'm going to get. So like you want to be able to give them something tangible. So all that to say, your offer is fine. I think it's the leads part, and like understanding that leads won't move themselves. You have to nudge them along.
Right. Yeah, I think that's where I suck, because I don't know how to.
It's just a skill you haven't honed. So we're going to get better at it. Like I still can't ride a bike, not because I suck, but because I just have not learned. So it took a while. So once you get, and the good thing is, well, this is not a good example. They say if you learn a bike, you can't unlearn it. I apparently unlearned it because here I am. But at least I learned how to drive, and I can't unlearn that one now. So like now I know how to drive. So I'm not scared about it anymore. But I remember learning. Speaking of learning, I took my G2 3 times before I passed. So I eventually passed, and I'm an excellent driver now, I promise. But like sometimes it takes a while to like get it down. And honestly, I deserve to fail each time. I was too slow, I couldn't parallel path, all these things. But yeah, so it's a skill. It's not that you suck, it's that you haven't learned that skill. That's a good thing to actually remind your brain that you just haven't learned the skill yet. You haven't learned how to generate leads consistently. You haven't learned how to have sales conversations. You haven't learned how to follow up. Once you learn it, it kind of becomes something you just do by default. It's not as hard. I send emails now, like, boom, it's just an email. I send it. You all receive it. So yeah, we'll talk more about that.
We have a lot to talk about on our call, by the way.
Okay. I'm ready.
There's a lot of things you're gonna have to, to fix.
I'm ready. And if you feel the same way, let's have that sales call. It's essentially to figure out how we're going to work together. 12 weeks is a long time to work together on every single issue that you have in your business to make it your best quarter yet. So looking forward to it. Thank you, Tomide, for sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, Lisa, I see yours. You can come off mute because I think it's a bit richer when you just talk to me. So just talk.
Makes sense. So my offer is a 4-month-long program for people who've been laid off. It's something that I've been doing in pieces for my one-on-one clients for a while, but I've never done it in this fulsome program before. The promise is you process your layoff, renew your career, find clarity, confidence, community, to reduce mental and emotional strain. Basically, what that results in is more interviews, higher salaries. You're getting a job that you really love. The price is $2,600, and I haven't even had any sales calls for it yet.
I really like it, and the process your layoff bit is powerful, because if you don't know, I had an 18-month gap due to a layoff, and the mental part is, I don't know how to describe it. It's sizable, essentially. So process your layoff is important. What I'm missing here is I read it, and the part about the result on the other side, like the job, it's not here. You say the promise is to process your layoff, renew your career, find clarity, confidence, community. All these things are beautiful, and I want them. But like, okay, so as to like the main thing is the job, right?
Yeah.
Why isn't it here?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Should have been there.
Yeah, it should be here. And so is the container 4 months?
It's 4 months, and then if they want to continue to stay in and continue getting the one-on-one coaching and the master classes, they can pay monthly.
Wait, tell me the delivery modality. So what are you doing during those 4 months?
So it's 6 hours of one-on-one coaching. It's master classes every week run by various experts. It's group coaching. It's also peer groups, and then there's a online resource where they have scripts and templates and videos.
Don't hit me. Would you be opposed to one-on-one for the whole 4 months?
Without all those other things?
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing. There's a couple of reasons why I've expanded to include the master classes.
Okay.
I've gone through a lot of stuff personally in my family and in my life, and I've had to step away from my business, and I found that really hard without having anybody else in the business with me. So
it's your capacity.
Yeah, exactly. The capacity.
Okay.
But if life hits the fan.
Okay. Have the one-on-one clients you've had, how many one-on-one clients have you had?
I've been doing this for 8 years now, so I've had like 500 plus.
Ma'am. Okay, if you've been doing it for 8 years, so you have a bazillion results, you could turn this into a group coaching program, which is what you're trying to do, right? So tell me the group coaching component again. Okay, I missed that context. Please start with that. Okay. Okay.
I know it's a lot. So basically, the group coaching is one part of it. The one-on-one coaching is one part of it. And the reason I did that is because I find that when you have been through a layoff, you need one-on-one feedback for like your resume, interview prep, that kind of thing. And you can't get that in a group setting. So the one-on-one sessions are really for that.
I disagree a little bit.
Okay.
If you've been through a layoff, doesn't mean anything is wrong with your resume because you got a job, and it's more like being able to move past it mentally to get the next job, because like it's not like you didn't have a job for a long time. You just got laid off a job that you were doing. So like, and also, okay, so many things in my head. Let me structure. Okay. I will write it down first so that I don't get lost in my own thoughts. First thing was the 500 clients you've had, the group structure, and do they get a job in 4 months? Let me start there. Do they get a job in 4 months?
That's the average time that people get a job. If they're applying everything that I give them, then yes, within 4 months they'll get a job.
So can we start with that being the promise?
Yeah.
So
problem is I can't guarantee that though.
What if you could? What would you have to do to guarantee that?
I would have to be other people because I can't force them to, because like they take time off to do something. They have something going on in their life. There's nothing that I can do to make sure that they're following the path.
There are things you could, if they get jobs on average in 4 months, it's good that your container is at least 4 months. That's one thing you can control because it means that you're giving them support for that time. So one extra thing could be to add a little bit of buffer so that if things do happen in their life, they're able to catch up. So maybe 6 months instead. So that's an added way to control the things that you can't control. So you have that. You can add a layer of accountability, but said better, where there's a level of check-ins. Maybe they have to apply to 100 jobs in X amount of time, and you're actually tracking that. That's how you can control things that you can't control because they're paying you for certainty. So you are going to help them to do those things. They've given you the authority to control. However, am I putting in the air quotes to control their not their activity, but like you're saying, hey, I need help. So help them. It's like me saying, you being a personal trainer, and I'm saying I want to lose 100 kg, maybe not 100 kg, but 100 pounds. And you're saying you can't guarantee that. You can guarantee that I show up in the gym on the days you tell me to show up because you're going to follow up with me until I do. You can guarantee that I eat the way you tell me to do because you can tell me to track my meals and send it to you every single time. And that way you're giving me feedback on what you're saying. So before we default to what can't we control, think about all the elements you can control and make sure you have systems within your coaching that allow those things to happen. Are you tracking them? And then because you also have the privilege of 8 years of experience, you can go through your best clients, people that have achieved the results fastest, and see what are the things that all of them did. And then you can make that the standard. Everybody has to do these things. Like this top 3 things or something. There's so many things, okay, that we're not going to be able to fully cover here. But essentially, don't let your mindset be
Okay.
that you can't control all these things. It's more add systems that allow you to be able to guarantee certain things, and also be trust in your capability to troubleshoot things. Don't say I can't control that. So make a promise and trust that you've seen all sorts of people in 8 years, so you can figure it out. If I came to you and I said I still haven't gotten a job, there's probably a bazillion questions you would ask me. What are some of them?
Sorry, say that again.
If I came to you and told you that I still haven't gotten a job, I've been in your program for 4 months, what would you ask me?
I would ask you how many networking conversations you've had. I would ask you how many jobs you've applied for. I would ask you if you were tailoring your resume to the jobs that you're applying to. I would ask you about your education and if you were applying to the jobs that fit your experience.
Okay. Do you track those things? How do you track those things right now? Like how many networking calls are happening? How many
I do.
applications?
Yeah, there's a system called Hunter that I give clients access to so that they can track all that stuff and I can see it as well.
Okay. So essentially, this is how you can make bolder promises by having systems on your back end that allow you to track how much of the lead indicators they're doing that will lead to the lag indicator. So you can strengthen your promise. So one of my clients that I had, they were pharmacists, and they also had the same thing that like, how am I going to ensure that somebody passes their licensing exam? Because I can't force them to study. I can't force them to come for their accountability things. What can we do? Because they're calling their program a mentorship. And I was saying, we need a stronger promise. We're going to say, we're helping internationally trained pharmacists pass their PBC exam on the first try. That's a tall promise. How are we going to make that happen? And we got there through a series of calls. First things we realized was that unlike exams where you can take them endlessly, there's a cap to how many times you can take this exam before you're just like, sorry, you can't practice as a pharmacist anymore. So imagine going to school for all these years and then you pass this, you fail this exam, and then you simply cannot practice. To make things worse, they're not like regular pharmacists, they are internationally trained pharmacists, meaning they migrated to Canada for this. So like the stakes are just very high. So I'm like, so as somebody who is in these shoes, your program is highly compelling because you get me, your fellow IPGs, international pharmacy graduates, essentially, and you have this experience. You also develop this program because you realize that past questions weren't enough. There's a level of support you need. And so they were struggling with that promise because how are we going to do that? How are we going to measure that? So we said, okay, what are all the things you have? They had group coaching, just like we, they had one-on-one coaching. They had things that people that have passed on the first try do. They had common errors, like they had all these things, and they had their track record. I made them start tracking their own results. So for example, of all the clients you've had, how many have passed on the first try? They realized they had a 75% pass rate, which is, and the industry average was 30-something%. That already is a no-brainer. So you can make that promise. So if you're tracking things, you also give yourself, like you're not just pulling out promises from your, but like you are essentially, you have data to back it up, is what we're saying here. So so many things to say and not enough time, but you can strengthen that promise. But I would say the first thing is to start with what they want. A person who's been laid off needs a
Job.
There we go. Therefore, we need to have that job in the promise. All these other things are very good to have, and they would be things that you should not stop talking about, because as much as we buy for the tangible, we also justify our purchases with the emotional. So we want to know that we will process our layoff, that we will renew our career, but we ultimately want a job. So it's framed around that. I really would love to talk to you in our sales call to figure out what your goal is for the quarter and how I can help you get there, especially with your capacity issues. You said that like you want to grow, and you're right. One person can only do so much. So maybe it's time to expand and bring on partners or contractors on your team that help you grow. And I've also done that. One of my other clients, her issue was she wanted to burn down her business and turn it into a passive course business because passive income is such a alluring thing. I have a love-hate relationship with passive income because I think it's not always true that you just do nothing. Like you obviously do something. It's more like your investment that makes that passive eventually, like your investment in team, your investment in systems, your investment in processes. But like if it's just touted as passive income, it's not really true. Anyways, so she was going to throw away this thriving transition business to turn into a passive income course. But the course was selling sporadically while she had a wait list for her services, the transition services. So I'm like, so you have this service that's like doing really well, but you want to throw it away for something that's selling once in a few months. How are we going to do that? So turns out the issue was not that she wanted to throw it away, but like that the delivery she had was too tight timelines for delivery. So she was like back to back delivery, getting tired, getting overwhelmed. But also, whenever delivery would get so hectic, she would stop her marketing, because when you're in client delivery mode, you can't really have time to be sharing about your work and the world. So that would then create these seasons where there's a lot of work and other seasons where there's not really anything. So our fix was to hire. The first thing she was like thinking was, I create these YouTube videos that help me with SEO, so people find me very quickly. But how am I going to find somebody that understands Japanese and that is good at YouTube editing? We found two people. So exactly, there's always people. It's also just like the space shoots. Every time I coach, I ask at the end of my coaching calls, and I think Michelle would know that I say, what was your takeaway from this call? Like, what's the one thing that that's better after this call? And her answer was always very simple, which I thought was like, I hope I'm doing my job. It was just nice to have somebody else outside my brain to like talk about the business with. And turns out that when your head is like, it feels like things are tangled. So maybe it's a bit of untangling, like getting pieces together that help you to get to the results. It's not always like rocket science. Hiring doesn't feel like rocket science. And if you have the means to do so, aka you're getting clients consistently, that might be the next step. And then also the simple thing about creating spaciousness in her delivery timeline, so that she didn't have to do things ASAP all the time, was very important. So maybe something simple like that could be something that would help you. So if you're looking for help with hiring, help with clearing the mental clutter, help with creating space so that even when life is busy, your business can keep going, I'd love to help you figure out how to make this your best quarter yet, even in seasons of low capacity.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, I'll set up a call.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Toby, are you in a space to talk? Okay, it might not pick on you. So anybody else?
So I can talk.
You can? Okay, what can I help you with?
The reason why we are all here, right? I guess.
I feel like I already know what you're going to say, but let me let you say it.
What do you say?
I feel like I know what you're going to say, but I'll let you say it. What do you want to say?
We want to get more clients, make more money, and
It was make more money. That was what it was. The reason why we're all here. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what's going on in your business right now? Where do you think you're feeling stuck?
For me, I think it's in the part of pricing, and I
Okay.
kind of like maybe I'm not kind of attracting to the right audience yet. Like
Mhm.
I'm attracting to them, but not as much as I wish I should, right, to make more money. Because technically, if I sorry, excuse me.
Who are you?
If I need more money, I gotta be in the space of people that also make more money that can give me more money.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But keep going. So what have you tried, and what are the results you're seeing?
Yeah. So basically, what I do, right, I think for the past few months now, I kind of been in the space of student, and which when they reach out, oh, I give them the price, this is it, and then they're like, oh, this is too much for us, and I'm like, okay, like I know it's too much for you guys, and for some I end up doing it. Okay, let me just do it for them, right?
So
And
hold
then
on. Give me context. Give everyone else context. I know some of your business, but like, what do you do? What is the pricing, and what is the package? What are you offering?
I jumped the gun, sorry.
No
So
problem.
I'm a photographer and a videographer.
Okay.
I do photography and videography. So basically when you have special moments to capture, I'm the go-to guy, right? And yeah, and everybody have special moments to capture, and they just reach out. Some their budgets work, some it doesn't work. So but lately what I found out
Wait,
is
hold up. You're not done. So how much is the package?
okay, so we have different packages, depends on the client. But we have essentially three packages. The first one is if you are doing one outfit,
Okay.
one outfit, it's going to be a 1 hour session that goes for $299, and
Okay.
that get 3 edited photos,
Okay.
professional edited photo, and then you have access to the whole gallery of the photos to pick whatever you are going to be editing from, right? For the second package, I mean, so for that first package, if you there's an add-on if you want a video for like a video reels, so that comes at the cost of $199.
In addition to the $299.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah. And there are some folks just want to do the video and not the photos. Some the photos and not the video. So it goes up like that. You want to do 3 outfits, 4 outfits, family session, and
So give me the range. On the low end is 299. On the high end is what?
on the high end for 3 outfits and a video session, that's gonna be like about 3 hours session. That's 599 and 199. 599, 199. So like for a very good session, I'm looking at about 800 $800 here.
Okay. So I think you first answered the first part as in students. Students are students, and they might not be the best audience for like fancy photo shoots. I mean, they might want these things, but if they cannot afford it, they're not the audience for you then. But the people that you've enjoyed working with and that have had the funds to pay, who have they been?
Oh, they are married folks,
Mm.
but and all of these guys here.
Okay.
And one thing they also do is, one thing I've enjoyed recently is even the referrals from them, right? So when I get to do for one, the next somebody refers, and then honestly, I want to say at this stage that I am now, I'm basically enjoying the perks of referral.
Referrals.
Most
And
of the times,
here's the thing: when you're enjoying the perks of referrals, you think they will always be flowing. They don't. They could, but at some point you need to do something to generate more referrals. But I'll let you finish in case you weren't done.
yeah, I think basically I'm just in the middle of struggling to like get my own like completely outside, like which I get people to like just send me a DM message and all of that. Yeah, I've done for a couple people, and then for some other guys, we just stop that. Oh, you are not even in my city.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So, did you do yesterday's exercise? Were you here yesterday? I don't think so. On getting 100 leads.
Yeah, yesterday I was in a shoot yesterday, and
okay, make more money. I like that. My first thought is I don't think you've maximized all the referrals yet, even though I know that they might end because have you intentionally asked all your clients for referrals? I know you haven't because I'm one of them. So it hasn't come yet. And one easy thing I don't know that it's an idea, but not necessarily a piece of strategy, but maybe it is like when people post those birthday and event reels, all the people that like it, they are potential leads as well because there are people that are in that person's world that have seen the work. So I would proactively just go follow them, is what I'm saying, so that they can see the work as well on your page. And that one doesn't have to even be any outreach to them. It's just like following them so that they can see the work you're doing and they know that you're there. That's one piece of it. Another thing is for you, I think you need to give people something to respond to. So for a lot of us service providers, you kind of have to like gather people and then like woo them into it. For you, I think you can do direct response. Like you could run ads that are asking people to book a session. You could do a promotion for a certain season, make up a reason for people to do a photo shoot. Holidays are coming up. Maybe people want to get family shoots for the holiday. Maybe you create a promotion and maybe you book out a studio for a weekend or something and you get them to book for that time. Like September is almost done, I think, September 18th. So October is coming up. People get their shoots done for the holiday season. Like create a reason for them to want to shoot and get people to respond to that. So like putting that out there, and that could also make your referrals easier. This time, if it's a flyer, then you can send it to the clients and say, hey, thank you so much for trusting me with your birthday shoot. I have this package that's up in case you want to do your holiday shoot with your whole family. As a returning customer, you will get XYZ. But if you know anybody else that is interested, or if you could share this, I would really appreciate it. That could generate a good handful of people. I think for you, it's not even so much brand building as much as just like direct response, something that people can immediately respond to, and giving people a reason to buy now. The birthdays, that's a natural urgency. Maybe you can have a standing birthday shoot where you figure out the price and maybe look at all the packages you've done and what's the most common package and say, if it's your birthday and you come to work with me, you will get a 10% birthday discount or something like that. Just something for people to respond to. I feel like I'm blotting out ideas because I feel like for photographers and videographers, there is like an immediate need that I'm seeing. The other thing I'm also thinking is, are there other people that for the special occasions, do they also work with event planners? Do they work with other people? Like, so is there a net that you can go network with? How do I say this? Can you go network with other collaborators, people that your client also hires around that time of a celebration. If it's a milestone birthday, for example, are they hiring an event planner? So do the event planners in the area know you as a photographer and videographer so that you're able to be their go-to guy? Do MCs know you? If you do, I don't know if you only do portraits or if you do events. Do you do events?
Yes. I
You do
do.
events. Do the MCs know you? Do the because people are, when they're planning, they may have a preferred person, but they may also be open to suggestions. So like just broadening your net like that. But for direct cash, I think the first thing, giving your referral, your clients something to respond to for the holidays and asking for referrals is handy. For the longer term, I'm thinking deepening your roots by being known by other photographers, videographers. So for example, I think my husband has a gig in October that he is an audiovisual consultant that he cannot make. He's figuring out who is going to refer for that because he can't make it. So like things like that. But then on a consistent basis in your world, it's brand building that would scale you beyond reach. Just even when you don't have work, creating work for yourself, like deciding to go shoot Hamilton Supercrawl, deciding to go shoot on campus and just posting it, like that would build your brand naturally. There's a person I follow on TikTok who I think is all the way in Nigeria, Duro Photography. I just like his work. It keeps popping up on my feed, and now I always watch it. It's just because it's like it pulls me in. So continue to post your work when you don't have work. Post the type of work you would like to do, but instead of doing it for free or for students, do work with the people that have the budget. Like because students have student friends, right? So when you post it, is their friends that see it. So people like that have influence. That, for example, I know we have a mutual pastor in common, and he has a really great network. You could do a tweet for him and his family, like that kind. Like so, just I'm thinking along those lines. But I don't want to overwhelm you, but I think that the immediate thing you could do is something they can respond to before this year ends, which is like the holidays. But on a longer term, look into like brand building by really doubling down on content. Don't only post content when you have a gig. Post like make it a regular thing that every single week I must shoot and post something that shows my work to the world so that people can see this, and make sure on that day you're also making it easy to contact you just as a basic thing. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for sharing as well. Okay, I know we've gone around, but is there anything else that anybody wants to bring up? No? Okay. So today was awesome. I was very, very nervous. Trust me that I wouldn't have enough people asking questions and I'd have to figure out what to say. So thank you for asking questions and for sharing generously. By the way, I can't really help myself. This is my like regular self. I am a straight shooter. If I see something you're saying that is, I'm like, I can't understand this and I don't know how people are going to pay for this. I'm going to ask you questions I don't assume that I have all the answers, but I ask you questions to try to get it out of you and to help you figure out how to package it in a way that makes sense. I believe that for most people, most service providers are the things we need to work on are creating a money-making offer such that it is easy for your ideal clients to see themselves in it, to see how this helps them survive or thrive, and it makes it a no-brainer for you to sell. And it's clear on who the offer is for, what the problem is, and it pays you well. So important to price it well. But after you have a money-making offer, which you would know if you've sold it to someone or at least had people take you up on it, whether free or paid, but ideally paid. The next thing you want to do is have money-making leads. Leads are people that you can sell to, right? People that you can contact, like you already went through. And yes, at some point you have a network. If you're a good human being, people know you and they trust you and they want to support you, but they can only support for so long. So you need to also start to put your tentacles out so that other people can find you. And we spoke this week about content, ads, and outreach. So please don't wait for them to come. Like you can see some of the has going on. You're like, okay, I realize I'm not really doing much to pull people in. So please do more of it. Do more of it. Go through the past days and find people that you can reach out to within your community, but also get into the habit of showing your work. I didn't talk about this, and I think I thought about this when Lisa was speaking. If you've had 8 years of client results, you have stories for days. So please don't stop talking about those stories and think about how they can form case studies, whether that's richer case studies that you write about on your website, or whether it's reaching back out to them to share video testimonials. I have a number of video testimonials, and I think they're really, really powerful because it's like you don't have to sell as hard when you have people sharing where they were, what you did, and where they are now. Like that's the overall structure, by the way, of a testimonial, essentially. So you think about it that way. I'm going to come to you, Michelle. And then after you have money making leads, you got to have a money making sales process. How do they get to say yes? Is there a way to ask them to be your girlfriend, which is the example? Like you have to have a way to ask them for the sale. In my world, that's my sales call. So if you haven't already, please book a sales call with me. If you've enjoyed what this week has looked like, you will enjoy working with me. It's with 12 weeks to help you make this your best quarter yet. Our goal is to sign at least 5 new high-ticket clients. And some people have told me, Fakoya, I've already signed 5 new high-ticket clients in a month. Like, and I don't want, like, that's too small for me. Then I'm going to say we accelerate your progress to that. If you did it in a month, maybe we can do it more in a shorter time. Maybe we can figure out how to make it consistent. Some people have 10K months in February and now we're in September and it hasn't happened again. So how do you make it consistent, right? And beyond the strategy, the money-making offer, the money-making leads, the money-making sales process, there's also money-making mindset. It took me a while to like understand mindset because I was like, oh, isn't it all the strategy? But there's a lot that happens in your head. Sometimes you have the same circumstance, like the same, I have a lot going on right now in my life. I have no leads, but like the way you think about it affects the feelings you have about it, affects the actions you take towards it, which ultimately affects the results you have. I learned the hard way that you can control your mind, and I should know better because I'm a Christian and I've heard the Bible say, "As a man thinketh, so is he." Like it's literally you are creating who you are by the things you're thinking, and so I tackle mindset as well inside of my coaching because it doesn't matter how much strategy you do if you don't work on your mind because you're not going to buy it, and all of that culminates in money making priorities because every day, if you look at your calendar and you can't see how you are doing any of these things, the money isn't going to fall from heaven or wherever. You just won't see results. So building the habits that help you focus on how am I growing this business? How am I making it one that I actually like, that I want to grow? Because if you don't enjoy it, it will be hard for you to grow it as well. These are all the things we work together on inside of my one-on-one coaching. So please book a sales call. I think I have 3 slots left for tomorrow. So do so. Michelle, your hand was up first, and Tomide. Go ahead.
Yes. So in my previous life, I worked in different fields. Well, it was always the mental health violence against women, and I take some of those tools into the coaching that I do now. So when you were talking about stories and testimonials, so I've had clients that I worked with 10 years ago who I see on the street, and they, oh my God, Michelle, how are you doing? And right, and I find that it's sensitive because the work that we did was, around violence against women. They were fleeing abusive homes. And so I'm like, okay, do I somehow use that? And like, it's tough.
That's a really good question. So yeah. I think that the testimonials don't have to always get into all the revealing details that put someone's story on blast. One way to use, when you think of testimonials, the job they do is to create proof that you've done this before. So numbers can be one way to start there. I have worked with 100 job seekers. That tells them, okay, this person isn't a brand new person, right? I have done this for 8 years. That's a form of proof. So you're thinking of proof. But when you're thinking specifically of how do I tell stories without revealing all these details, can you change their name? If you change their name, and maybe ask them, actually, you can ask them directly, say, hey, I wrote this story based on the work we did together, but I've changed all the identifying details, the city, the name. Is it okay for me to share this? Because in your case, if it's like it's pretty, close to that, and you want to withhold, sometimes English fails me, but uphold the trust that you put together, right? So you're able to ask that, but also think about it from the lens of, if I were the client and I read this, would I be upset that they shared this level of detail with my name on it, right? And if it's not their name on it, honestly, if it's anonymized, I think it's fine. But like, if you just confirm with them, but if it's all identifying details, like the city, the number of children, the number of, I don't know what else, like other things, then it's worth asking. So the way I do testimonials is I let the person tell me themselves, like it's a video call. So like you get to, and I tell you in advance that this is a testimonial for working with me. So whatever you share, I assume that you're okay, sharing this publicly. But in your case, since it's in the past, you could write the story as you would want to write it and ask for their permission. Since you still have those relationships with them afterward, that's also good because it's not like you're just showing up from like nowhere asking all these things. So do that. But then if you cannot use stories as they are. Think of your own story. If you've also gone through whatever it is that you're helping people with, maybe you went through a layoff, tell your own story. I hope you give yourself permission to use your story, so that should be easy.
Yes, I
And
do.
then share your credentials as well. If
Yeah.
you've been certified in one area, share those things, right?
Okay.
Share fictional parts of stories. Share themes. One thing I keep saying with my clients is X. And then that's a way to show that you've had experience without necessarily getting into the details of 1%. But the idea is for you to share that you understand them and that you've helped people like this. People also see themselves in testimonials. So if you can actually tell the story as is, it's most powerful. If you can get their permission, try to incentivize people as well. So maybe start thinking about this from the beginning of your engagement with clients. Ask them, hey, I'd really love to share your story. This is also me giving you a heads up. I'd love to share the story of your transformation if you choose to work with me. All right. But thank you. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah.
No worries. Tomide, you're next. You're muted.
Sorry. But I think thank you for mentioning how like we also have to just work on our mental situation. The one that I have been struggling with now, and I think it's a little bit of a like paralyzing agent in some way, is like everybody that I talk to in the coaching industry are talking about how hard it is now. Like nobody is buying, the economy is bad, it's this, and it gives you an excuse, right? It gives you a reason why things are not working, and you're just like, woe is me.
Yeah.
But I think I struggle with like, okay, what's the reality here? Is it really like bad that we need to like, or are there ways around this?
Yeah. So good question. People are still always buying. People are always buying to solve problems that they have. Now, is that truth that money is not flowing in the economy like it was during the pandemic, where they were giving out stipends and where the interest rate was 0.25? It's true that things are different, but people are still buying solutions to their problems. How they're buying might be different. Maybe before they would just read your post and they were able to put their credit card in and buy. Maybe now they want a sales call. They want to see that you're a real human being and like, how are you actually going to help me? Maybe now they want a taste of your service before they buy from you. Maybe they want a live experience like this. Maybe they want a masterclass with you. Maybe they want to read more testimonials. Maybe they want you to do more panel interviews with your past clients to talk through that experience, because it's what is true. One of the ways my coach says it is that it's a high trust economy. It's not that there's less money. It's that like people need to really be sure. Like, I want to double check that you're real before I release this card. It's not like money is still there, but it's that you need to think about what you can do differently. And like I started off with at the beginning of this week, I want you to control what you can control. You cannot control the economy and the interest rates. You can control how often are you talking about your offer. How have you done everything you can do to make sure that you're presenting your offer in the best light as well? That you're thinking about, yes, it's going to help. I'm going to help people. How did you say it, Lisa? Was it process their layoff? I'm going to help people process their layoff, but I'm also going to help you get a job, because what you need in this economy is a job. So you're going to lead with the result that is tangible, that people can hold on to, while also speaking to their emotional, because you know that this is an economy where people are like checking if this is really worth it. So people are still buying, but you also have to make sure that you're not clogging your ears with what everybody's saying. People are still buying. They might be buying differently. So you might have to, leverage the trust you have with referrals, with asking people to invite people. Like, I think a number of you were invited by past clients, and I'm so grateful to them, because again, I ran ads and they did not reach the right people. So like, I was like, let me just use what I have. So it's also getting crafty, like, and thinking a bit more. So control what you can control. Some things are out of your control, like what's happening in the economy, but what's in your control is how you're crafting your offer, whether you're talking about outer results, whether you're looking for opportunities to demonstrate trust, and even being willing to do a little bit for free if you need to. Maybe it's a free trial session, maybe it's something to gain the trust of people. But yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for
Friends
sharing.
were not necessarily harder. People are still making money, serious money, millions in this economy, in every economy. In fact, it's when this economy sucks that apparently the rich get richer. Did you know that? So yeah, don't be left behind. Okay, I'm so glad this went well. Thank you everyone for coming. I really do appreciate it. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how to get from leads to clients, and you're going to get to see all the different aspects of my offer, what to expect, but also client testimonials. And I'm hoping that you can tell me how the things that wins have stacked up as well, like what has changed in this week together. I really, really want to thank you for spending this week with me. I just didn't know what to expect, but I did it anyway. So thank you for being here. And if you haven't already, please book your sales call. It is how we help you. I help you one-on-one. All of this right now is a bit like we're strapped for time, but like we have 15 minutes every week for 12 weeks together, and we use that time to help you sign more clients, to help you remove anything that is not money making in your calendar, so that you have a focus on making money and getting clients, which is all I want to help you to do. So the way to do that is to head over to fopsy.ca/call. Fopsy is spelled FOPSY.ca. Looking forward to chatting with you more over there. All right. Any last words before we hang up? We good? Thank you everyone for your time. Super duper appreciate you. Have a lovely afternoon.
You too.
Yeah.
Take care, folks.
Bye.
Thank you. I